Hi everyone, today we're going to be solving problem number 21. Here is the problem. Let d of n be defined as the sum of proper divisors of n, numbers less than n which divide evenly into n. If d of a is b and d of b is a, where a is not b, then a and b are an amicable pair and each of a and b are called amicable numbers. Evaluate the sum of all the amicable numbers under 10,000. First, let's start by calculating d of n. I've already implemented the proper divisors method in the util object. Let's take a look through how this works. So in calculating the proper divisors of a number, we first check if the number is 0, because then we don't have any proper divisors and we return an empty sequence. Otherwise, we use a special trick to calculate all of the proper divisors quickly. We know that divisors of a number come in pairs, and one of the numbers in this pair is less than the square root and one is greater than the square root, and multiplying the numbers in these pairs results in the number they are a divisor of. Now we need to make sure when we're calculating proper divisors not to include num itself. So we start by adding 1, which is the left hand side of the pair, including 1 and the number. And for the remaining, we iterate from 2 to the square root of the number, and for each of these, we will calculate the two numbers in that pair. Now, we start by checking if n is a factor of num. If n is a factor of num, we calculate its brother, which is the element on the other side of the square root. Now, if brother and n are the same, that means that n is the square root of the number, and we don't want to double count this, so we just return n. Otherwise, we return n and its brother. And if n wasn't even a factor of num in the first place, we return an empty sequence. Now we can move to implementing the check if a number is amicable. So we can write a method is amicable, and this takes an int a. We start by calculating b, and we can see in the problem statement that b is defined to be d of a, and d is the sum of the proper divisors. So b is, and I can go ahead and import that method from util. So b is proper divisors of a dot sum. And now, first we want to check that a is not b. So a is not b, and we know that the proper divisors of b's sum must be a. And that's it. That's our implementation of is amicable. Now the last part is printing 1 until 10,000. And now we're going to filter the ones that are amicable. And now we're going to sum them up. And that's it. Now I can run this. And we have our answer, 31626. So that's it for problem number 21. I'll see you next time when we solve problem number 22.